Bro, what is this production?
Oh!
Oh my god.
That nigga got his bank.
And the thing that I really appreciate about Tank is he's a dog. That kind of what he just said, you can put them earmuffs up and go at it. He kind of will assess you as well in whatever he needs to do.
Jake Paul has finally shared his thoughts on the latest sparring and training footage of Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Footage that's been making waves all over social media. His reaction quickly became the talk of the boxing world. In the viral clip, Davis appears sharper, quicker, and more explosive than ever as he gears up for his next bout, sparking major discussion among fans who believe Tank may now be hitting his absolute prime. Gervonta Davis built his reputation competing in the lighter divisions, usually fighting between 133 and 135 pounds. And he's never officially gone past 140 in his professional career. On the other hand, Jake Paul is naturally a cruiserweight, generally competing around the 200-pound mark, which is where he's weighed in for most of his recent fights. That's not just a small gap, it's several weight classes apart. When the difference is that big, it changes everything. The bigger fighter tends to have the edge in strength, punch resistance, and overall power. At that point, it's not only about skill anymore. It becomes a question of who can take the hits and still perform effectively.
It's unfortunate is the idea that Jake Paul might actually fight Gervonta "Tank" Davis. This can't be real. When it came up a couple of months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna cover this because there's no way it's real. There's no way they're really gonna do that because it makes no sense. Why would you do that for him? Outside of it, like, okay, you can look at it like an exhibition, which it will be, and we'll take a look at some of the rule set for it. But Gervonta Davis is one of, if not the best, biggest names at 135 pounds, and is an active in his prime fighter. I don't want to hear the similar to Floyd and Logan thing, because at that point, Floyd was retired. Floyd had done all he needed to do in the sport. Tank is still in his prime, still has multiple high-level opponents that he needs to fight. And you can say, oh, you know, the Jake would be a one-off. Side quest. That's fine, but that just tells me that Tank doesn't care about being a high-level champion in this.
Carmel Moughton recently reflected on an old sparring session he had with Gervonta Davis when Davis was just around 15 or 16 years old. He admitted that he felt a bit nervous going in. But once the round started, it quickly turned into a real chess match in the ring. Instead of relying on pure power, it became all about timing, speed, and counters. Moughton explained that Davis wasn't trying to take his head off. He kept things controlled and technical, focusing more on rhythm and angles. He could definitely feel Davis's strength, though. Skill-wise and speed-wise, Moughton said it was back and forth between them. He described the sparring as a fun, tough, and memorable experience that helped him grow as a fighter.
What was it like when you sparred him? I know you sparred Tank early on. Yeah. What was that experience like? Like, replay that experience for me. Like, you coming out of it, what was your thought?
Yeah. I was nervous at first. I think I was 15 at the time we sparred, so he wasn't really like trying to knock me out or nothing like that. But we was going like, he was using the speed on me. Like, we was both like going speed for speed, and it was great. It was like a chess match.
Did you understand in that moment like why he is who he is?
Yeah. I seen why he's able to beat these guys. Then I also seen why I'm so like. Yeah. I got all this hype around me too.
Sean Porter recently came to Gervonta Davis's defense regarding his decision to take part in an exhibition match with Jake Paul. Porter believes many people are missing the bigger picture. In his view, this kind of fight isn't about chasing legacy or proving dominance. It's about making smart business moves and setting up financial security for Davis and his family. Since it's an exhibition, Porter pointed out, the rules and conditions are designed to minimize risk, focusing more on entertainment than competition. He also reminded fans that boxing careers can be short, and fighters have to capitalize on big opportunities while they can. From that standpoint, he sees Davis's move not as selling out, but as securing his future and giving the audience something exciting to watch. Porter's comments underline the ongoing tension between traditionalists chasing legacy and modern fighters thinking about life after boxing.
They're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore. But it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like, they're talking like, I don't know the official one. They're talking about like 100 mil.
Oh damn.
Like, they're talking about these insane numbers. Like I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100 million or something like that. But I do see exactly what you're saying about the essence of boxing. I wish they would kind of separate a little more, because exhibitions have always been a thing. There's always been an argument.
Right.
But they're just selling it like a real fight almost.
Right.
So I think that maybe if we could create a better like distinction, more of a difference.
Right.
There might be less hate on it, but at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna tell Tank not to take that fight.
And I said this last year. I said create a influencer title. And let those guys fight over there in the influencer world. They can live the world and the life of I'm a world champion without having to do something like this. Now, the issue for this that I have is you have a legitimate 135-pound champion fighter getting in the ring with a 190-pound guy, or whatever it is that Jake Paul is at. So now we already let's really.
On the other hand, many fans and analysts argue that despite all the buzz, the matchup feels more like a spectacle than a true contest. Even event organizers seem aware of the imbalance. To address safety concerns, they've introduced measures such as a 195-pound catch weight, larger gloves, and an official exhibition label. These adjustments highlight the risks involved rather than eliminate them. For most observers, this fight isn't really about the scale. It's about the contrast in experience. Gervonta Davis has faced world-class opponents at the highest level, while Jake Paul is still building his resume. Many expect Davis's speed, precision, and ring IQ to allow him to slip inside and land sharp counters, making Paul look outmatched despite the size difference.
Comment about it. My question is, what's the rules? And like, are they gonna actually try and knock each other out? Because it's gonna be a glorified sparring match. I'm not watching, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Jake's gonna have a hard time hitting him.
Yeah. Big time. Gervonta's so fast and skilled.
Gervonta's gonna eat his
I thought
guts.
Jake was gonna fight Anthony Joshua. That seemed
no, that was actually getting.
That
sounded
the
more
craziest
interesting.
idea I've ever heard. Jake Paul trying to fight Anthony Joshua is, crazy.
Not a sanctioned professional bout. This means the fight will not count towards either fighter's professional records.
So it's still being finalized.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What is so behind the scenes? You think there are things like, hey, we don't punch each other in the jaw.
Yep. Or don't go. We can punch in the face, but don't go for broke. Like, don't knock me out.
Really?
Yeah. It's an exhibition.
That's
so
not very interesting to me.
No. Until I find the rule sets, but when I hear exhibition, I'm like, okay.
Jake is bodied up, man.
He's big.
Yeah.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150.
Oh, he's so small.
He's so small. I mean, he's really small. Bring up Gervonta Davis next to Floyd Mayweather, because I've seen Floyd in person, and he's tiny. You've seen Floyd in person?
I've worked with Gervonta and Floyd.
Tiny.
Well, Floyd likely has shoes on there.
Oh, dude, he's so small.
He's tiny, guys.
Yeah. I mean, he's so small. Wow. Great.
Chael Sonnen recently weighed in on Jake Paul's rumored pivot from a potential showdown with Anthony Joshua to a matchup against Gervonta Tank Davis, and he didn't hold back. Sonnen described the move as a major downgrade from what fans were expecting. He explained that while Jake Paul knows how to build excitement and sell a fight, Tank Davis operates differently. Davis prefers to let his performances speak for themselves, rather than engaging in flashy promotion or media theatrics. According to Sonnen, Davis's world-class skill isn't in question. It's his marketability that could limit the event's reach. Without Paul's promotional engine driving attention, Sonnen believes the fight might struggle to capture mainstream buzz. In his eyes, the potential success of this matchup relies far more on Jake Paul's ability to tell a story than on the clash of boxing talent alone.
It is the exact opposite of Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul for 2. So the fight that was being dangled and rumored in front of us, the exact opposite has happened. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is not fighting nobody. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is fighting Tank Davis. Okay, so there's one big glaring issue for me. It's just your partner being Tank Davis. Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. It could be a title fight, a contenders fight, a main event fight. He could be the favorite. He could be the underdog. Tank doesn't know how to bring that information to you guys in a way that is compelling. And Tank is already blinking in this situation. You have one guy who is argued amongst the pound for pound current greats in boxing. You have another guy that has suggested he should not even be allowed to box, that he should have to call it something different. He should not be licensed. He should not be ranked in the top 14. He should never be selected for a world title. Okay. Now, Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport.
Over time, Gervonta Davis's perception of Jake Paul has noticeably changed. In the beginning, Davis saw Paul as nothing more than a loud internet personality chasing clout in the boxing world. He often laughed off Paul's callouts, dismissing him as an entertainer rather than a legitimate fighter. But as Jake continued to improve, dedicating himself to real training and showing discipline inside the gym, Davis's tone started to shift. These days, Tank acknowledges Paul's effort, mental strength, and determination to prove himself in the sport. While Davis still doesn't see him as an elite-level boxer, he has become more open to the idea of sharing the ring with him, not just for competition, but also because of Jake Paul's massive star power and influence on the global stage.
Jake, what do you think of Jake?
Clown. He's a clown. I know that Jake can't fight. He can't fight. So
would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. You want me to fight him? At first, I didn't like how Jake Paul was coming because of how he was making it look. But now that I see that, I feel as though he's still a clown because that's his personality. I'm starting to respect it because he's not doing it like for the hype. He was really like trying to be a boxer. I think that he's decent.
Yeah.
Like he's good. I mean, he's not good, but he's going that way.
Is he better than you thought he'd be?
Yeah. Gotta be mentally tough to be in a box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should.
So what's your take? Does this matchup actually make sense? Or is the size and skill gap just too big to take seriously? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's hear what the real fight fans think.